What's going on? Ellis in the building, and I represent sensory overload. And today we're going to discuss a tribrid from the house of Dua Fragrances. And this tribrid is inspired by three fragrances to create this masterpiece. The three fragrances that it's inspired by: Creed Aventus, Parfums de Marly Percival, Parfums de Marly Layton. Three bangers. Three bangers that makes this. And what this fragrance is called, it's called Poseidon's Legendary Chariot. Poseidon's Legendary Chariot. The top notes is bergamot, mandarin, pineapple, black currant leaves. The heart, jasmine, lavender, violet, geranium, apple. And that base is going to be something else. That base is going to have birch, patchouli, rose, ambergris, vanilla, guaiac wood, sandalwood, cardamom, cinnamon, musk, pepper, nutmeg, fir balsam, and coriander. This fragrance has so many notes, but the question is, does it smell good? Because those are three bangers. And I like to say this: Creed Aventus. That's known as like the king of kings of fragrances. Popular because of that pineapple, that juicy pineapple, and also the birch and the vanilla, right? Then you got Parfums de Marly Percival. In my opinion, it's like a niche version of Dior Sauvage because it has a bit of sharpness, that lavender in there, right? That freshness. It reminds me of that realm of the fragrance, you know? And then you got Parfums de Marly Layton. You got the apple in the top notes, but also the woodiness and the vanilla, and seductive, and it smells good. And honestly, Creed Aventus, seductive. And Layton is cool. I got compliments on Layton. So apparently that's going to, I mean, not Layton, excuse me, Percival. So apparently that one is going to be considered seductive too, because, you know, it was from a baddie with a fatty. So I took the compliment gladly. You feel me? So that was cool. That was cool. But we're going to talk about this fragrance here and see if it's good. See if it's worth it. Because keep in mind, the three fragrances that I mentioned, individually, you're at least paying like $200 for. So imagine $600, and that's lowballing, just to create this one fragrance that you could get for like $60. So I sprayed one on a test strip earlier. I'm letting it go through its phase of, the top note, hearts, and base note. But let's see what it smells like fresh in the air. And I may spray it on skin as well. You could definitely smell pineapple and the influence of Creed Aventus. So this fragrance, it's intended to have the transition be that Creed Aventus in the top, and the heart, it leads you into the Percival, and the base, that's where it gets to Layton. And it does it well because off that initial smell, I smell the inspiration of Creed Aventus, and you do smell a bit of that sharpness, and not in a bad way, of the Percival. Let's spray this on skin real quick. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've worn this a couple of times, you know? I just love the combination. I love the concept. I think the concept is fire. And like I said, sometimes I just don't have the thought process to even think of combining these fragrances together to create a mashup that's like a masterpiece. So I just love when I'm able to come across a tribrid, a quadbrid, hybrid. Like, I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, off the skin, it's definitely Aventus off the rip. Like, it's definitely heavily influenced by Aventus. Let's see what's going on with the test strip now since I sprayed out, about 10 minutes ago. Smells good. So with that, you do smell it transition, right? The Aventus is going to linger. It's not just going to disappear and evaporate immediately. It's gonna do its thing. It's gonna chill for a minute. Let you know, hey, Big Papa's in the building. What's up? And then it's gonna go into that Percival vibe with the geranium and some of those floral notes. As I'm smelling this, you may ask, time, place, when, like, what's the perfect occasion for it? I'll put it this way: this is a good all-weather fragrance. I think this is going to be a good all-season scent, right? This can be a compliment getter. It's going to be mass appealing. It's a combination of three mass appealing fragrances, right? So it has no choice but to be that. I do think that it will be a crowd pleaser. I do think this will be smooth for a date night, but it's also professional enough to wear it to the office, right? It's just not this big sex magnet that's put into liquid form for you just to spray all over yourself. It does that, but it also has a good professional tone to it. I do think that someone in the mid 20s could rock this. Mid 20s and up will go with. It has a bit of youthfulness to it, but it's like that young professional youthfulness, that person that's maturing, that's lived life a little bit and is seeing things for what it's worth. I think this is going to be a good fragrance for them. So dates, work. I think that you could dress this up and you could dress this down. I think this is an easy spray. Nothing that you got to think twice about. Like if you're going to wear it to the wrong occasion, like, nah, you good. I don't see anybody getting offended by this. This is definitely inoffensive. It does have crowd pleasing tendencies. And I think it's worth the purchase. Let me just bring it back one time, see if it has transition since I've been talking. Hang on. Honestly, that pineapple is chilling. I love it. I love it. That creative Aventus, it does it every time. Every single time. It chef's kiss. It does its thing. So it's gonna take its time to transition. No rush, right? Enjoy the fragrance, enjoy the experience. This here, you're gonna get a full day's worth. And when I mean a full day, I'm talking about like a work day, right? The 8 to 10 hour time frame. You will get that. This does have a nice freshness to it as well. And then, like I said, when you get down to that base note, that's where you kind of get more of the vanilla and more of the woody notes, the sandalwood and the gaiac wood. Overall, I think this is worth checking out. It's worth the purchase. It's a good fragrance that could be a Swiss Army knife if you're really not trying to have this massive collection. You can have three powerhouses combined into one. So, that being said, that's my opinion on Poseidon's legendary Chariot. So I hope you smell your best. You stay blessed, okay? Peace.